This episode's a continuation of the last one. That's why it's 2.5. In this one, we're going to be talking about the Western Conference and our Stanley Cup final winners, after we talked about the East and our thoughts on the format in the last one. Enjoy. I guess we can start with the Western Conference. Matt, if you want to go. Or...
Yeah, sure. So first series in the Western Conference is Oilers and Blackhawks.
Sure.
For this one, I don't have an upset. I have the Oilers beating them. I mean, you have McDavid and Draisaitl playing like a dynamic duo. They do lack a good franchise goalie, but I think their offense will carry them past the Blackhawks in this series.
Nice. Okay.
Next series, we got Predators versus Coyotes. I got to pick the Preds here. They got a great all-around team. Rene is one of the best goalies in the league. I don't really think the Coyotes ever thought that they would ever make it to the playoffs. I mean, none of these teams did, but I think the Coyotes are not equipped to be, beating anyone in this series. So I have the Preds to win that. Next one is the Canucks versus the Wild. I have the Vancouver Canucks. Their young guys are 1 year older. Pettersson, Besser, Horvat. These young guys are now, actually performing really well instead of having the good singular individual seasons, but not good team success, which they are getting now. Hughes is probably going to win the Calder award because he's been playing great, and Markstrom
Quinn Hughes, not to be confused with Jack
Quinn
Hughes.
Hughes, not Jack Hughes, sorry.
He isn't here yet.
And
Jack...
Markstrom and Demko have been playing very well, so I'm gonna have to take Vancouver on this one.
Nice.
And the last one, Flames versus Jets. It's not so much of an upset because these teams are seeded pretty evenly at 8 and 9, but I have Winnipeg beating the Flames here. I think they have a better all-around team. They have the great offense. Kyle Connor's emerged as one of the better players in the league. They got good defense. Could be better, but I still think it's somewhat solid. And they got Hellebuck, who's, honestly is one of the best goalies in the league at this point. So I have them winning against Calgary.
All right. Next round. St. Louis would be playing Winnipeg.
Yeah. So for this, I have St. Louis beating Winnipeg. I mean, St. Louis has had a great year. I mean, who would have thought that, back in January of 2019, they're in, last place, and then they go on to win the Cup and then also, lead the Western Conference in points. Like, I just think that this team has really solidified themselves. Yeah, this year, sorry. They've solidified themselves as one of the powerhouses in the league, and I see this team going far, so I have them.
All right. Your next matchup would be...
Canucks versus the Avalanche?
Yes.
So for this series, I have the Avalanche. I mean, Avalanche has one of the best lines in hockey with Landeskog, McKinnon, and Rantanen. They got good depth. Ryan Graves has been really good with his plus-minus this year. He's, been kind of like a who kind of guy. Like, this guy, who's this guy? But he's, really, stepped up to the plate. They got good depth, like I said. Tyson Jost is pretty decent. Burakovsky's been a nice surprise. Nichushkin's a good signing that Sakic made. They could have a better goalie in who's it, Grubauer?
Yeah, Grubauer, and
I also think that they
Varlamov,
could.
I think.
No, Varlamov's gone.
He's with the
on the
Islanders.
Islanders.
Oh, yeah, he did. Never mind. Who is it?
Regardless, I think that this year Grubauer can really step up, and I think he'll do pretty well.
True.
Because he was on that Washington team that won the Cup, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, the backup. Yeah.
I think so. Anyway, even if he wasn't,
they have
I'm just
Pavel Francouz, and they have Michael Hutchinson.
Yeah.
Who had a decent run in his short time in the league. So, but I still think
a lot of injuries for Colorado, but a lot of them are coming back.
Yes,
so
exactly.
They're gonna be scary.
Yeah. So my next series, I believe it is Vegas versus Nashville.
Yes.
For this, I have the Golden Knights. I think Fleury is going to play really well in this series. Predators, they have a good goalie as well, but I don't think that they have as much firepower as the Golden Knights do. I mean, Mark Stone, Max Pacioretty, those guys are equipped enough to, score really clutch goals, I believe. they have good defense depth in Theodore, and I think that this team is also, because they went to the finals in their first year against Washington, they know what it's like to, have a deep playoff run. So I think that they'll try to repeat it, and they know what it's like.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
So-
your last matchup is
The Stars
So-
versus the Oilers. I have an upset here. I'm gonna go with the Edmonton Oilers beating the Stars.
it's that big of an upset.
It's
So
not
let's
that
be
big of
real.
a
No,
5-4,
yeah.
but I think people still believe that Dallas should win.
Yeah.
Dallas is a great team. They got a good goalie in Bishop. They got good young players like Heiskanen, Rupe Hintz. But I also don't think that they are. I don't think that it's their time yet. I think maybe give them a couple of years before they start making deep playoff pushes. But then again, I can't really say that again about Edmonton. They haven't really, been
Done
anywhere.
much yet.
But I still think that they can ride the McDavid Drysdale train all the way to the semifinals or the
Mhm.
conference or
Conference semis.
yeah.
Conference semis, yeah.
conference series. Sorry.
All right, so conference semis. St. Louis versus Edmonton.
This is where the Oilers Flames die out.
Good one.
Flames.
Watch out first.
Unfortunately, I don't think the McDavid and Drysdale duo can match the best team in the West. I think Blues know what it's like to get far in the playoffs, having won it last year, and I think this is an easy pick for me.
I mean, I have one question for Matt.
Yeah.
Yep.
You said that the Blues are the best team in the playoffs. Do you truly believe they are the best team in the playoffs in the West? I don't think so.
When I say the best team in the West, I mean the team with the most points.
Okay, but they're not. Let's be real. Like the Blues know how to play playoff hockey. That's all I'm saying is that they are not the best team in the West.
I never.
Roster-wise, I don't think they are.
I wasn't saying that they're the best. I'm saying they're the best team because they have the most points.
Okay.
I'm not.
That's fine.
That's all I'm saying.
That's fine.
All right, so your next one is Colorado, Las Vegas.
Colorado, Las Vegas. I have to pick Colorado.
Okay.
I still think that I think McKinnon is really emerging as a sort of like superstar franchise guy. I think he'll carry this team. Even though he's not the captain, I think that he'll put the team on his back. Like I said before, they got good depth. I think Grubauer is going to step it up this playoffs, and I don't think the Golden Knights will have much to match it. And that leads us
gives you
to the
finals.
finals.
1 and 2
Yep.
conference finals.
And Nafi, I hope you're happy with this pick because I'm picking the Avalanche,
Let's
not the
go,
Blues,
let's
because I
go.
don't think that they're the best team.
Let's go.
I don't know. I just feel like, this year is the Avalanche's year. They won a round last year, I believe, against the Flames. Was that last year or was that 2 years ago? Regardless, they know what it's like to win a series. I feel like they've waited long enough. Makar's really good. This year, he's obviously going to be a finalist for the Calder, and I don't know. It's just something about this team tells me that they're going to go to the finals.
All right, so we'll put a pin in your finals for now, but
Yep.
for everyone listening, it's going to be Washington versus Colorado, according to Matt. Nafi, you want to go through your West?
All right, let's do this. So first matchup I have is Flames and Jets. Now this is an all Canadian matchup, so I'm hyped for this.
Yeah.
If when it happens.
Mhm.
So Jets just have like big guys. They're just a big boy team basically, and they play big boy hockey. They'll hit you, they will come at you. And so yeah, they have the natural raw talent. I don't know if the Flames can keep up with that. Goalkeeping is the question for the Flames, Rittich or Talbot, but let's see what happens with that. But
It'll probably be British.
yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying. But you never know. Talbot has the experience. He has that over.
He has that one run. I
Yeah,
guess,
that's more than Rittich can say,
I guess.
But yeah, yeah.
Are you so you're picking Calgary?
No, I'm picking the Jets actually, because the Jets.
Oh, you're picking the Jets.
Jets are just the
Okay.
Jets are the bigger team in this. They have more talent. They have the natural talent. Line Connor Shifes. Come on, Wheeler backing them up
Yeah.
with Wheeler. Players like Eller can just like come in. How about the only Ehlers? Yeah, my bad. But the only thing that I would question whether or not it would be Jets or Flames would be the Jets blue line, because the blue line is pretty weak after Buff left. But like, yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Whatever he did.
yeah, I have no idea what happened there, but I think the Jets would win based on the fact they can put the puck in the net a lot more frequently than the Flames could in general.
All right. Nice. Okay. What's your next one?
Oilers versus Hawks. I mean, come on, Oilers. You have
All right.
You have two of the best players, offensive players in the NHL on the same team. With this matchup, it's
Wait, you mean Patrick Kane and Jonathan Taves, or
no,
I'm
actually.
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Bro, that train has long been gone, man. Let's be real. They're decent players,
Yeah.
but they're not like the Patrick Kane and Johnny Taves that we know from back in the days. But like, yeah, you have Draisaitl and Connor McJesus, as I like to call him, going 1-2 against Taves. Taves would let's be realistic. Who would Taves play with? Taves would probably be matching up with Connor McDavid, but who would go after Draisaitl? Would it be like, I don't know, Dylan Strome? Or is it Dylan Strome? Yeah, it's Dylan Strome.
I believe that's their second line center.
Yeah.
With Kane.
Yeah, so like Dylan Strome versus Draisaitl, who like, come on. Matchups in this round would be everything. Like, I think
So you're Edmonton.
yeah, I'm going with
Even the Taves McDavid one, like no one can keep up with McDavid.
no one.
Taves is a Selke winner. Like,
Yeah,
you never know.
That is true.
Taves
Yeah,
is one of
he
the
probably
best.
could give him a run for his money, but
Face-offs wise, one of the best in the league
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
well.
But like, McJesus is McJesus. You can't stop McJesus, can you?
Yeah, Anaheim did it.
Anaheim, where are they now? Oh, draft lottery.
Anaheim did it because the Oilers just, shit the bed.
That's a whole different
Yeah.
story.
Yeah,
All right, what's next now?
Canucks Wild. Canucks are an obvious choice. They have the depth once they have Levo back off injury reserve, so they'd have a really strong third line. Wild are good, but like Wild just have defense. Like, how long? Defense isn't everything. Defense doesn't win you a game. It's basically that matchup would be top 6 for the Canucks versus the top 4 for the Wild. But I see the Canucks coming out on top because they have the guys with the cup run, like Bo Horvat and stuff like that. Now, Coyote Preds, and this is one I was tossing up a lot because the Coyotes are one of the most stingiest teams in the NHL. Known fact. They have a great tendy with Kemper.
And they have Ranta. Like, they both played pretty well.
Nashville, based on the fact they have more experience, they have much more like older guys who can deal with that. Duchesne, people like Taras Forsberg, and Pekka Rinne.
A great decor.
A great core, basically. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Pekka Rinne is showing his age though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
he has declined.
I mean, UC Sours isn't doing too bad, considering that he's slowly becoming the number one choice for the Preds. So I have the Preds going up in that round.
Alrighty.
So
nice.
First round would be.
So that brings you to your second round.
Yeah. So
your first matchup would be St. Louis Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Just like
so
that.
Blues and Jets. I'm a firm believer in the. I don't say I don't like the Blues, but they're not. They're a good team, but they're a good playoff team. That's what it is. They're okay. They're an okay playoff team, but like, it's got to be I think it's the Jets here because Jets are just.
I think so.
The Jets are just that team. Like, they will score. They will score on you. That's all they do. That's what they're good at. And they have Hellbuck just backing it up. Who can steal a game or two by himself? Single-handedly, he will win a game. He's done it before this season. He can do it again in the playoffs. Like, no problem.
I agree with you that St. Louis, I wouldn't have high expectations for St. Louis after winning the cup. Like, I don't know what's going to happen, but they seem like a vulnerable team overall in this format.
Yeah, like Jay Bouwmeester with the unfortunate situation with him. He's not there. He was a big part of that decor. Pietrangelo is he's not old, but he's going to slow down.
He's in a contract year. He's a free agent after the season.
So like, he has to, unless he steps up, does something. I mean, let's be real. Their core. Ryan O'Reilly's a great player. He's a great two-way forward, but you need some.
Will they have Tarasenko back?
That's a good question. We don't know yet because how long has he been out? He's been out for more than like six months, I think, by now. Yeah.
Because it was supposed to be season-ending or something like that, right? It was a long-term injury.
Yeah, it was a shoulder. He lost blew out his shoulder or something. But I don't know if Tarasenko's gonna be back. Like, he may come back, but how good will he be? He hasn't played hockey in over 6 months, and a 3-week training camp is what they're suggesting. he doesn't have game experience like as compared to others. So
Sure.
he's already far behind those people, those players who have been playing games for the last 6 months or so. Moving on.
I think it's
Like yeah.
yeah. So
It's-
you have Vancouver versus Colorado.
Yeah. So Nazem Kadri standboy right here. So I gotta go with the Avs. Come on, the Avs are just a team, man. They're top to
They
bottom
Yep.
a team to actually challenge for the Stanley Cup, Lord Stanley this year. Canucks have a great team, Bo Horvath, great core, Pedersen. I just don't think it's their time yet. They need to develop more. They're in a situation like the Leafs were about like when they first went in, when in Matthews' first year as a rookie, they have the core, but they're not ready yet. They need more time to develop and probably like let Quinn Hughes develop more. It's his first year. Don't want to put that much pressure on him. Like he's gonna get absolutely destroyed out there by like the.
I don't know about that. Like he's played a lot.
He's smart, but like
Yeah.
playoff hockey is a different monster altogether. Like you can't avoid those big checks. You know, Landeskog running
Yeah.
at you.
Yeah.
Like he's tough. Landeskog's a tough guy, even though he's a very good point per person.
He's big.
He's a big guy. Yeah. So I gotta go with the Avs in that, and then I think my next one would be Oilers.
Nashville, Las Vegas.
Yeah, Nashville versus the
Las Vegas.
Golden Knights.
Las Vegas.
Yeah, the Golden Knights. I think the Golden Knights take this one. Golden Knights have a strong team. Fleury's gonna stand on his head again probably. They have some decent depth players at the back who can make a difference. Up front, they have experienced veterans. Was it Mark Stone, Ryan? Max Pacioretty? And they also have like great like young guys coming out.
William Karlsson.
Yeah, there you go.
Alex Tuck.
Yeah. So has to be Golden Knights for that one. And then
So your last one is it's Edmonton versus
Stars.
Dallas.
Yeah, Stars. McJesus versus it's basically McJesus and Draisaitl versus the world right there. He's got to go with the Oilers, man. I think the Oilers have it this year. Like, what is it?
Yeah.
Nurse has been doing great. The only thing that I could see,
I'd say all right. I don't know if I'd go great.
I mean, for that team, he's doing amazing. Let's be real. So
I guess
he's been standing on his head for that team. So yeah, I think I'm going with the Oilers here. Stars have a great team. Like Matt said before, I don't think it's their time yet. They need to develop a bit more. They have a bit more. They have a bit more space for improvement there. Yeah. So that means for my next round, I would have the Oilers.
Colorado, Winnipeg.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, whichever one you want to start with.
Colorado versus the Golden Knights.
Winnipeg.
Okay, so Colorado versus Winnipeg. Oh god, these are probably my two favorite teams in the West. But I gotta go with the Avs. Avs have a blue line, and their blue line is dangerous, and they can probably shut down the Jets.
Fair enough.
The Jets up top, and with the firepower that the Avs have up top, the Jets blue line would be absolutely destroyed. Connor Hellebuyck can only do so much, and against the likes of McKinnon, Rantanen, even Kadri, even like players down the line can like do something.
Tyson Jost, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then you have Las Vegas and Edmonton.
Yeah, I think this is where the Oilers bow out the conference. The Knights are a superior team. They've done it before. They can do it again. I think this is where cup experience versus fresh-faced NHLers. It's where it balances out against. This is where it ends for the Oilers. So Golden Knights go through. So it's got to be the Golden Knights versus the
Colorado.
The Avalanche. This is a hard one, man.
Who's your Stanley Cup finalist here?
Both of them have such strong points. I can't really go one has this. Like the Avalanche have the team. The Avalanche have a cup-winning team that they can take into the finals against like the likes of the Boston Bruins. So actually, I'm going to go with the Avalanche in this. Golden Knight, no matter how hard they played, the Avalanche are an elite team here.
All right. So to recap yours, just before we go over the Stanley Cup Finals, you have Colorado versus Boston in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
All right. Now I'll go through mine quickly. Calgary, Winnipeg. I think Winnipeg's a better team. They're more consistent. Calgary has those spurts. so I'm going to go Winnipeg here. Edmonton, Chicago. Chicago's a dying team. I don't really think that they're going to challenge Edmonton that much. Edmonton, controversially, they're not in one of the top 4 spots. They easily could have got it if the regular season continued. I'm going Edmonton. Vancouver,
Nice.
Minnesota. Minnesota's old. I mean, I guess some young players, but like overall, their core is older than most other teams. I'm going Vancouver here. I like the makeup of their lineup much better than Minnesota's, and so that's why I'm going with them. Nashville, Arizona. Now this is tricky because Arizona's roster, if you just look at it for face value, it's probably equivalent of Nashville's roster in my opinion. The star power on there is pretty decent, and they have a chance to actually show it by doing this play-in. So I think they make the most of it and they go through. They beat the Nashville Predators in 5 and advance to the next round.
I did not expect that, Azib.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this cup run, it's anyone's game in my opinion, and we're gonna see that come out in my bracket.
There'll definitely be some upsets this year, for sure.
100%. So you're saying like players like Hall and Kessel will basically, Hall, Kessel, and Keller would basically carry the Coyotes.
Well, it's not just that. They also have their goaltenders were great this season with Ranta and Kemper. Their defensive prospects aren't even that bad if you think about it. They have Ekman Larson. They have Jarmelson. They should have Chikrin back.
Garland's been pretty good.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think like at face value, their roster is better than Nashville, or on par with Nashville in my opinion. I give it to them just because of a declining Pekka Rinne.
Fair enough. Yeah, I see that happening. Okay.
I do agree with you, but I also have to agree with Nafi that Saros could also carry the load for the Preds.
Yeah, but is he that good though? Like, is he like?
I mean, he's pretty good considering the fact that they've been choosing him over one of the elite talents in the league.
Yeah, but Pekka Rinne is getting them no choice really.
Wait, right? How many wins is Pekka right now? Let's have a quick look.
I'm pretty sure stats sucks this year.
35. He's game started 35. He's won 18 out of his 35 games started.
What's the save percentage?
Okay, he's like at an 8.95, and Yars is at a 9. Yars is at a 9.14. That just says it all. Yars can carry this team, and they have a.
Yeah, but what about Ranta and what's it called, Kemper? Kemper had like a 9.29 save percentage. And
but
something like that.
Shielded by like the likes of like big like defensemen. Okay,
well that's my point. Then they're a more complete team.
I mean. Okay, your choice. I'm just saying.
No, I know.
It's cool.
That's what's part of this, right? Like the conversation. Cool. I just think that Arizona got this opportunity, and I think they'll pull off an upset. And if you're mad at that, I might make you a little bit more mad here with Arizona beating the St. Louis Blues.
I mean, I'm not opposed
in 7 games.
I'm not opposed to that.
Like I said, I think St. Louis is exposed. I think they're not ready for this coming in. I don't know what's happening with Tarasenko, and that's one of the upsets I see. Arizona is going to be hungry. This Taylor Hall, he hasn't signed an extension. He's going to be gone next season like if anything goes wrong here. But I think Arizona is decent and they'll take that one. That's my biggest upset in the West. So,
wow.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Winnipeg, Colorado. That was another matchup that you guys talked about, I think, or you haven't. I don't think actually.
I don't think so, but.
But I agree with you. I'm on the Colorado bandwagon here as well. They take that against Winnipeg. Edmonton, Dallas. Same logic here with you two. I'm going Edmonton. Vancouver, Las Vegas. Now this is where I change up. I think Vancouver's done a good job rebuilding here. I think their roster is on par with Las Vegas, and you never know with Las Vegas, right? I mean, they're a decent team, but I just happen to like the Canucks roster built a little better. I think they take that series there. So that leaves us with Colorado and Arizona, and Edmonton, Vancouver. So I'm about to shock you guys. No, I'm joking. Colorado's winning against Arizona. That's where that ends.
Yeah.
They're just way too complete of a team. And then Edmonton, Vancouver. I think Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl get over the hump, and they're in the conference finals.
Okay.
Now, this is going to be a hard one. Colorado versus Edmonton. To be honest, I think it's going to come down to who gets less injured, because I think there's going to be injuries in this playoffs regardless.
Yeah.
Like if
100%.
if you see what's happening with like the Bundesliga, like we were talking about personally before, like the injuries have gone up, and I don't think that's going to be anything different in hockey, especially with the hitting and players just coming back. So I'm expecting Edmonton to beat Colorado and go to the Stanley Cup Finals. I think this will be an asterisk on Edmonton going to the Stanley Cup Finals with Connor McDavid, but he's bound to get there at one point, and I think the two teams will continue to be the dominant teams in the West for the future. But this year I'm going with Edmonton. So to recap, I have Edmonton and Boston in the Stanley Cup Finals.
I would never have expected Edmonton for you to get that far. I mean, they
you
have
guys brought them
decent
pretty
team,
far, and then
I just don't
you
think
let
they
go
have.
of them in the...
I just don't think they have the goalie to keep them afloat.
Yeah.
I think their
Yeah,
defense
no,
is
I can
very...
definitely see that.
Yeah, and also the thing, if you look, what you call it, like big teams like the Avalanche, they have the depth.
They do,
Yeah.
they do.
Others
Like,
don't have depth.
again,
They don't have depth
there's
for anything.
the thing with Colorado is there's so many players coming off of injury. We have no clue what it's going to look like if they get injured again. They have Colin Wilson right now, Nazem Kadri, Philip Grubauer, Matt Calvert, Mikko Rantanen, Andre Burakovsky, and Nathan McKinnon were all injured when the season ended. So how have they rehabbed?
Yeah.
Are they ready to go? If they're ready to go, will they get injured again? I don't know.
I think
That's true. They could always re-aggravate.
With this playoff this season, I think it's more about talent and like just the natural talent the players have, as opposed to like, oh, how well has he been playing throughout the season? Because you've been on a break for 5 weeks. Players who come back, let's say like someone
more than 5 weeks. It's been almost like a month and a half or 2
months or whatever. Like if you take like, I don't know, someone like a Matthews and put him up against like Cam Atkinson, like the All-Star Challenge where they do the shooting. We all know Matthews is gonna win them. Even if he hasn't touched a hockey stick for like 6 months, he'll still be able to do it. Better than...
It's still a team sport, right? I think a lot of what hockey comes down to is luck. The bounces need to go your way. The amount of players that are on a team, like if one of them has an off night, that line is exposed. There's a lot of factors and there's a lot of luck that goes into play in hockey, for better or for worse. And I think we've seen that in the past with different Stanley Cup winners, different teams making it far. Not to like say anything against their talent, but their luck is a heavy factor. And
obviously,
I don't know. I think the storyline has it going for Edmonton, and Edmonton needs a cup at some point with McDavid and Draisaitl on the team. But yeah, I'll let you know if I think they win the cup or not in a couple of minutes. I'll let Matt go first with his cup winner because he's been going first overall.
Okay, well, so my final is Washington and Colorado. I mean, Nafi did make good points. I'm kind of hesitant now. I think I should have picked Boston because he made a lot of good points. But anyway, I'll stick with my pick. I'll stay confident here. My cup winner for the 2020 COVID Cup is the Colorado Avalanche.
Hey, that's
okay.
I mean, like I know I said it before, but I just think it's Colorado's time. Washington's a great team, but I don't know. I just something about this team just screams winner to me.
True. I'm pretty sure Nafi has a very similar outlook on this. Boston versus Colorado. But what are you saying now?
This is where you guys may start. I may get a fire squad coming after me if I say that the Boston Bruins deserve to win it. If I say that, like,
hey, honestly, even though I'm biased and I hate that team, I would not be surprised if you said that. They're a great team.
Like, well, have you seen the team that the Boston Bruins have put together? They have the veterans in Chara, Bergeron. Marchand's at the peak of his career. He's one of the most hated players in the league. by far. He will get under the skin. Even if Kadri plays again, I can 100% guarantee you in that series Kadri will get a suspension. 100%.
Probably, yeah.
They hate each other.
Pasternak's in the prime of his career right now.
Pasternak is playing out of his life. This guy will literally. This guy can pass it. This guy can shoot it. He can do anything with that puck. The core, the D for the Bruins, insane. Crew. Who is it? Who else is it? Charlie McAvoy. McAvoy's crazy.
Grizz looks decent.
Brandon Carlo, big guy. He can lay anyone out. I think he's one of the big. He's big. He's fast. He's strong. You have depth players.
Okay.
Like, come on, that team is stacked. You can't like, no matter how complete the team you call Colorado, the Bruins deserve to win one. I think they deserve to win one at least in the next 2 years. If not this year, they deserve to win in the next year. With the full player.
That's a good statement.
So are you picking them then this year?
Yeah, it has to be them, man. I mean, come on.
I don't think he would have said all those things and then picked Colorado.
Oh no, it's Colorado.
You know what I've been through as a Leafs fan with the entire getting Game 7 exits 3 times in a row. It hurts me to say it, but I can't deny the facts, can I?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I have Boston in my finals too against Edmonton. You know. They've had an interesting decade. Won the Stanley Cup early on, 2011, then 2 losses in 2013, or no, 2013 and
2019.
And 2019. So, you know,
if you say the Oilers right now,
Boston fans don't complain because you've won so many titles. What? Here's another loss for you here, and McDavid wins the COVID Cup. Edmonton Oilers are your Stanley Cup champions. The Cup is back in Canada. It's the first time since 1993, and under stupid circumstances that Americans will probably use against us. But nonetheless,
that is interesting.
McDavid has his first Stanley Cup. The storyline fits. NHL, if you're rigging it, you'll pay me something because I just gave you this idea. You can sell it. It'll be a great story for McDavid's first cup. Oh, when did McDavid win his first cup? Oh yeah, the COVID Cup, right?
Do you think McDavid wins Conn Smythe?
Ooh, that's a good...
Yes, yeah. If they're in the Stanley Cup Finals, yes, he will.
Well, I mean, Drysdale.
I know your point. I know your point. But the storyline, the Conn Smythe never makes much. It makes sense, ish. But a lot of times you could argue for a couple different players and. Storylines maybe make the Conn Smythe more of a award that can, get leniency.
Right.
People love the Justin Williams Mr. Game 7. Give him the Conn Smythe. Not saying he didn't deserve it. Mm-hmm. Sidney Crosby won the Conn Smythe twice. Did he deserve it both times? I don't know. That's up for debate.
Yeah.
So if this is happening, if the bracket falls this way and Edmonton somehow wins the Stanley Cup, it's going to be Connor McDavid.
So we all have different cup winners.
Interesting.
Yeah, but we all have one sim finalist.
Boston.
Everyone has same finalist as someone else.
Yeah.
Boston or if they're out, it's one of those two. And then we have a zip going like, oh yeah, the Oilers are going to win it. Let's get it. Let's go. I'm like, bruh, that's out
Mikko
there.
Mikko Koskinen has to play out of his mind for them to get that far.
That's a good question. Who's going to play in net for the Oilers? Because what you call it? Mike Smith.
I don't think Smith.
I don't think it's Smith.
I think he's too. I think he's way past his good playing career.
But
he does have experience though.
That is true.
It's a good question. That goalkeeper, that Tendy question is gonna be interesting. Who's gonna play in goal for the Oilers?
Mm-hmm. Well, let's also not discount the Oilers forwards, right?
Yeah, obviously.
Their fourth line, it might be a checking line, but it's a very decent checking line in terms of the whole NHL with James Neal, Correa, Chesson. I don't know. The question comes down to how good is their third defensive pairing. It's Chris Russell and Matt Benning, but if they can get over that hump, is Mike Green coming back?
Who knows? I think he is.
Okay, that's something at least,
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my pick. It's gonna be a crazy year. This is probably going on for a decently long recording time.
Yeah, might have to split it into 2 videos Just because
I
I don't know.
probably won't. But
I'm just saying, people probably won't want to listen for an hour, but whatever.
yeah, I mean, if you listen to all of this, I
Yeah.
hope you had a very entertaining time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nuffy, for coming on.
Thanks for having me on, guys. It's been a pleasure, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll see you in the next M&A series episode.
Alright.